my man Jason back here. He's a Santa Ana native. K9.
Okay, so you already know it. Shout out BH. Santa Ana, that's my loc too, cuz.
Yeah, man, I love that album. I mean, you look at my iTunes. I mean, I bumped that album.
Appreciate it.
I think my favorite track two of them. I like Demonstrations with, and we got Fig Newton. He's coming by today too.
That's right. Shout out to homie Fig and Pipe on the Demonstrations though.
Yeah,
and he wet that thing. Fig did that.
Oh man, it's
that nigga say burner on my hip, never in the whip. Real gang bangers know the manuscript. Got my eye on the homies, and I watch the Crips. Heavy on my tip, because niggas be pushing politics. That shit hard.
Yeah. Oh, man, I love that album. And, you know, so that's one that...
I kind of appreciate, like, we saw the politics that Fig and Daz went through shortly after Politic dropped. I just feel like a conduit, the fact that they both was on my project shortly before that, and it was some politics. The name of the CD is Politicking.
Yeah.
These niggas never really had no interaction prior to that.
Yeah.
They get on my shit together, not fucking with each other, but they on my project, and then they had to politic before the world. So it just, that was interesting to me.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. We actually interviewed Daz like right after that.
I saw that.
And Bosco, and yeah, it was some good interviews. So let's talk about you know, Young Buck a little bit. I saw, you know, you commented on, I guess
back shots. What it do, Loc? That neighborhood life.
I guess there was some video out there, and he addressed it. And
shame on him. That's where he fucked up.
Yeah.
You know, in this day and age, had he not addressed that video, people want to believe in you so bad. So many tricks is going on with the camera, Photoshop, and all that. Not addressing it would have been his best bet. The way I came about it was I was just minding my business, doing something similar to what I'm doing, twiddling my thumbs, and sliding down my IG, somebody added me on something. So I just go to check it, and it was the video of Young Buck in the truck. Tomorrow, check this out. I know Buck very well. I knew something was up right then. I'm like, cuz did something. What is he talking about? He guilty of something. I didn't know what it was about. So whoever added me, I added them back like, who he talking about? And then they added me on Cook Up Boss page. So I was able to go and get an idea what was really going on. So, you know, I made it my business to just repost anything on the subject. Once I seen the air of truth to it, I'm finna go with it. So I'm reposting it, and you know, it unfolded before my eyes, just like y'all. So, you know, it was quite hilarious to find out that Young Buck like boys, not even taking this opportunity to say anything negative about anybody that likes boys. It's just funny to find out that David Brown likes boys. You know?
Let me ask you this though: Do you think he gets a pass? Like
no pass,
because there's all these.
No pass.
Well,
I don't give a fuck what you finna say as a why. No pass, but go ahead.
But he's thinking it's a true female.
No, he never said that.
Oh, okay.
You're like interjecting. That's why I say,
okay,
if he had not responded, there's so many people that want to believe that,
yeah,
he perhaps would have been okay.
Yeah.
But because it's so true, he felt like he had to meet it with some type of defense. And then look what transpired, all the phone calls and the pleading.
Yeah.
You talk tough to Cook Up Boss, but you talk to him like a boo. I think with that voice, he keeps forgetting he's talking to a boy.
Yeah.
He forgets. Why you don't want to fight that boy?
Yeah.
That blows my mind. That's a boy, Buck.
Yeah.
I remember the punk told Buck, I don't trust you. That nigga said, how could you not? My nigga, that said it all. I don't need to hear it no more. Y'all in love.
Yeah.
Because if you tell a female, the female tell you, I don't trust you, and you say, how could you not? That means we done been through some shit. I done showed you some shit. I done proved to you that I'm down for you. That was his response. He was like shocked, like, how could you not? Yo, bad, Buck.
So you think he's gonna recover from that?
I know the hotel room probably stank. I know that motherfucker stank. They both look stanky. Y'all look stanky. That do not look like no good sex, my nigga. Shame on you, boy.
Yeah, you think he's still gonna be able to sell albums?
I mean, yeah, of course. Of course. Yeah. You seen Love and Hip Hop lately?
My wife watches.
Okay, are you familiar with the
yes.
cat? Yeah, he'll be all right.
Yeah.
I think he'll be faster to a bag if he go ahead and embrace it. You got caught with your hand in the cookie jar. What you mean you don't like cookies, nigga? I seen you.
You think the world would appreciate him more if he came out and just said this is who I am?
Most definitely. Who wants to be lied to? We saw you on camera. Now you finna tell us, oh, we ain't see what we see.
Yeah.
It's like 50 saying he wasn't hating.
Yeah.
The fuck you mean? I'm seeing this is the definition of hating. I don't believe hip hop has a better example of one person on camera hating on another without a reason better than that right there. I'm your artist, boy.
Yeah.
Show me somebody else hating on somebody else unwarranted, worse than that.
Yeah. Going to 40 Glocc, you were on Instagram, and I think he
marked out.
He called you on the live, and you were talking. You kind of caught him off guard, and you know, and I like I was telling you before we got on the interview, like I kind of had the same view. You know, if I'm rocking with you, Spider, you know, your enemies, my enemies. You know, that's kind of how I've you know, I'm your age, so that's kind of how I was brought up. And he kind of addressed it as if, like, you know, I don't know, I didn't see that, you know.
I've been seen through 40 Glocc on that level. When we first got to fucking around, he was in a studio session, and he was going live. And I was in a studio session in the Blue Room with me and my niggas, and we was watching his live. And while we weren't watching, the homies were watching. And they brought it to my attention that Badass was in the studio session with 40 Glocc, and he was dissing me. Somebody typed in, "What up with you and Spider?" And he was in the studio session talking bad about me right there next to 40. So when I get at 40 about it, "Oh, cuz, you crazy, cuz." Neutral. It's been neutral ever since. The way we got caught up on camera with that the Baby and Slim shit together, like we was in unison, it wasn't he and I. He got caught up in a whole wave of a whole gang of niggas that showed up in my studio, and he just tried to run with that shit and turn it into his play. I don't know if you're familiar with kite phones. KYTE. It was the first device that was mobile where you can go live to the internet while you out moving around. He had one of those, and he took it with him over there. So everything that took place was happening in real time, being broadcast to the internet. So he tried to run off with it. But that's the only time you'll ever see where we looked like we was on the same side of a beef issue, because he happened to stumble up on a move that was already in motion. And then he ran big with it and attached himself to it big, but that was my move. Other than that, ever since I seen how he was willing to be in a room with a nigga dissing me, I ain't give a fuck what he went through with nobody.
Yeah.
You feel me? I'm the one. I was his legal advisor that advised him to sue. And it was kind of like, chill right there, shorty, told you I got you. You're like, yeah, go ahead and sue him. Go ahead, do that. And he did it, dummy.
Like, in your opinion, with 40 Glocc, I mean, because I saw he fell out with a couple of the big homies, or one of his big homies from his neighborhood. So what, I mean, is he well respected out there amongst, as a West Coast artist, being... Not
at all. I hate to say it, and I'm not no hater though, but, you know, if you just look at documentation for the last 5, 6 years or even beyond, I am the single one and only rap artist that was willing to be vocal saying anything, period, positive about 40 Glocc, period. I don't know nobody else that has anything respectful to say about him. And, you know, I could be wrong. It might be somebody I'm missing or an opinion that we haven't heard.
Yeah.
But if I go and just try to be as honest as possible, I felt like in hip-hop, I had become his only friend.
Yeah.
I thought he would honor that enough at least to keep it real.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, I come from an environment of gangbanging, and, you know, it's the busters and the G's make the hood go around. You know how many busters I got from my hood, been from the hood for 20 years. So people started questioning me, why you still rocking with 40 after this, after that? He was the homie. You know, you don't boo the nigga just because he becomes inadequate on one play or another play. But eventually, when the nigga showed the whole world he's willing to lie on behalf of a nigga who ain't really did nothing for him,
yeah.
And we lokes though, cuz, like, where your loyalty lie? That Crip like, homie.
Tell us about the Wheel of Fortune experience.
Wheel of Fortune, man. One of my very favorite television shows all my life. Actually, Hangman is like one of my favorite games. Even in elementary school, junior high, always coming up, word searches. I just always had a passion for him. If a teacher passed out a paper and told us we had a time word search, I don't know if anybody else's heart in the room was beating like mine, trying to be finished first, trying to find the words. And I've always had like a a passion. If I'm driving through the city and I look and I see a sign say Home Depot, my brain immediately sees the H in home, the T in depot, then the O next to the H, and it sees the E next to the T, and try to make a word out of that. It just rearranges, just does it automatically. So through the years, Wheel of Fortune being a show based on words and word structure and all that, it's been one of my favorites on accident. I remember being in prison. Shout out Showdown from 6'8". He was my cellie. And I remember it was a time we used to be able to sell Wheel of Fortune to be on. And some of the larger puzzles I would solve with very little pieces showing, to the point where he'd be like, "Cuz, it's a rerun. I know you've seen this shit before." So it was always something I wanted to do. I remember almost 15 years ago, female friend of mine, because she realized how much I like the show, watching it on a regular basis. I remember she sent in a poster card for me to get on the show. We never got no feedback. And here it was 15 years later. This time the application process was email. Fuck it, sent in an email. This time feedback came right back, went to the, came out here to Sony studio, close to the Sony studios, to a hotel similar to this, to do the audition. Went on the show. Did my stuff, my nigga, fucking with Pat. Not only after I solved one puzzle did Pat Sajak tell me I made it look easy, not knowing that I was pursuing a career in media, he called me babyface after I solved the second puzzle. And then toward the end of this show, as he was wrapping up the show, he told the whole world that if the way I played Wheel of Fortune was the way to play it. So him not knowing that being my favorite show, him not knowing that I'm attempting to rely on my appearance for my income, such as himself, he really gave me endorsement by calling me babyface, and then telling the world the way I played the game was the way to play the game. It made my experience there all worthwhile, even though I had a real big bag of money. I dropped them all the way out the door. So close. But yeah, I appreciated that experience going on Wheel of Fortune more than a lot of experiences I've ever had. Making 6,500 in 22 minutes was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. My competition was a retired college math professor. And I can't quite remember what this lady did, but she was professional as well. And for me to outperform the both of them was like, I appreciated that.
Wow, wow. Let me ask you this. If there's one person you could work with today, alive, that you haven't on the music stuff, who would that be?
Dr. Dre.
Have you met Dr. Dre before?
I've never met him. Shout out Robin Petgrave, shout out Dr. Dre, tomorrow's Aeronautical Museum. You know, possibilities are endless, man. You know, the way the universe works, who knows, you know. Well, yeah, Dr. Dre would just be the first name off my top of my tongue.
All right. And what's the future hold for Spider Loc?
2019, the Illiterate Project, in a collaboration with Cleopatra Records, will be dropping early. Shout out Brian Piera and Omar the Iceman at Cleopatra, man. I appreciate the opportunity, the partnership and the bag they put up. Shout out E40 and Angela Mazzotti on my first single, Think I Love. And not only that, we got The Council, a film we just wrapping up with the Riders for Life Film Company. Pretty excited about that. I got a record with Eastwood. Shout out East the Beast called Block Sheep. We just finished the EP. We 10 records in. We trying to decide whether we gonna do between 7 and 10 records. So that's gonna be coming out early 2019. And we just gonna stay active, man. Do a whole lot of what we've been doing, try to do it more consistently, efficiently, and just enjoy life.
Right on, right on. Well, we appreciate you, Spider, coming by, you know, spending your time.
I appreciate the invite, man. I've been checking out your platform. I appreciate the way you deliver your content. I like the way it's structured, and I just appreciate being included. I see the type of caliber talent that you like to bring through, and it's an honor to be included, man. I appreciate it. Also, we're working on the Bottom Line podcast coming soon about the Black Box. So right. Tap into that. Spider Loc Most Easty on all social media platforms is the prefix.
Right on. Well, thanks, Spider Loc.
Thank you. You already know it's Spider Loco, the Most Easty, and you are now watching Urban City TV.